Hi, it's me, Andy, again, the dietetic student. I had come to talk to you about your diet when you were first diagnosed with CKD, and now I'm back to talk to you about your diet now that you'll be starting dialysis. The diet does change a little bit due to the fact that with dialysis, the machine is filtering out stuff that you were holding on to before due to your low kidney function. I just want to give you a general overview because you will have a dietitian at the dialysis clinic that will be doing checkups on you, looking at your labs every month and letting you know what you need to consume more of versus what you need to consume less of. So this is just a general overview of what the diet could be and should be until you start dialysis and the renal dietitian is able to evaluate your labs. So like before, you still want to limit that fluid and sodium because any sodium that you intake is going to make you hold on to fluid and cause that fluid retention, that swelling, and that edema, which you want to avoid. I know that's very uncomfortable for you, so you want to make sure not to add any salt to your food. Be checking those food labels for 140 milligrams or less of the sodium, and buy fresh products when possible, and avoid processed meats and canned goods if you can. We want to limit your phosphorus again, and that comes in things like your dairy products, your milk, your whole grains, and meat products. We want to limit all of those except the meat. You want to limit the meat last because it is such a good source of protein. You want to avoid your whole grains and wheat bread. Usually we tell people to consume that, but in your case you want to be consuming white bread and the regular noodles. You want to avoid the whole grain or wheat products. Your dried beans and peas have a lot of phosphorus in them. If that's going to be hard for you to avoid, I know that for some people that's hard. To start off, you can limit yourself to 1 serving a day. If that's something that you like to consume, you can allow yourself to have 1 serving a day. Just make sure that you're cooking it bland or using a salt substitute that does not have phosphorus in it. We want to avoid the chocolate or any chocolate product as much as possible. I know that chocolate is usually something we all want, but we want to make sure we're avoiding it in your case because of the high phosphorus content. You also want to avoid dark sodas. The only sodas that are okay for you to drink are going to be Sprite or root beer. Anything else is going to be very, very high in phosphorus, and you want to avoid it. Your renal dietitian will be able to give you more details on the items high or low in phosphorus. She can get a diet recall and kind of let you know what is affecting your phosphorus levels when she sees your labs. With this diet, again, we want to be limiting your protein. Your potassium. With your potassium, you want to avoid oranges, orange juice, tomatoes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, leafy greens. You can alternate, or in place of those, eat grapes, apples, apple juice, cauliflower, green beans, broccoli, things like that. Refer back to your list that I'd given you before of low potassium foods, and just make sure that you're trying to consume those instead of the high potassium foods. Okay, now that you started dialysis, the one big change is instead of low protein, we want to be consuming high protein. So you want to make sure that you're consuming protein with each meal. You want to be consuming about 3 ounce serving at each meal. A 3 ounce serving is about the size of a computer mouse. That's a good visual. You want to make sure that you're consuming good, lean, healthy products, protein products, and preparing it yourself. You can try fresh meats, your eggs, your egg whites, things like that. No frozen meals, no boxed meals. Those are going to be high in sodium, high in phosphorus, high in a lot of things that you want to avoid. So overall, we want to limit our sodium and fluid to avoid that retention. We want to limit our potassium and phosphorus and choose healthier, low potassium and phosphorus products. You can refer back to the handouts that I had given you before. If you need another copy, I can get that for you, of low potassium and phosphorus products to choose at the grocery store. And then we want to increase our protein this time by eating protein at each meal, at least a 3-ounce serving, which is the size of a computer mouse. Healthy, no frozen meals, no boxed meals, nothing like that. You want fresh meats, eggs whites, things like that. Any questions? Again, if you have any questions, I will be around. You can always tell your nurse or find someone that can get in contact with me, or your renal dietitian will always be at your dialysis center and will always be there for your questions. Thank you.